Donald Trump was supposed to be different. No more endless wars. No more foreign entanglements. That was the promise. It's a big reason why voices like Joe Rogan and millions of voters supported him. The belief that he would break away from decades of US intervention. But now, something doesn't add up. It's tetchy because the United States isn't pulling back, it's moving closer to one of the most dangerous conflicts imaginable. So the question is simple. Was this a betrayal? Or was this always inevitable? Trump didn't just hint at being anti-war, he built his identity around it. He criticized past presidents for dragging America into conflicts with no clear end. He positioned himself as the outsider who would stop the cycle, and people believed him. But fast forward to today, and that image is starting to crack. Because instead of de-escalation, we're seeing something else entirely. Rising tensions, military positioning, and a growing focus on Iran. This isn't what people signed up for. And it's forcing even supporters to ask, was the message ever real or just convenient? A conflict with Iran isn't just another geopolitical move. It's fundamentally different. When you talk about countries like China or Russia, there are limits, economic ties, global pressure, mutually assured consequences. There are off-ramps. But Iran doesn't operate under the same rules. After decades of isolation, they have less to lose, and every incentive to respond asymmetrically. The strategy shifts. It becomes about indirect attacks, prolonged pressure, unpredictability. There's no clear battlefield, no quick victory, no guarantee it stays contained. And maybe most importantly, no clear way to end it. This isn't a 6-week operation. It's the kind of conflict that stretches, evolves, and pulls more players in over time. Exactly the kind of war Trump said should never happen. At the same time, there's another layer to this story. The narrative itself. There are increasing concerns about how this conflict is being presented. What gets shown, what gets downplayed, and who controls that message. Critics point to contradictions. How do you claim to defend free speech while tightening control over how a war is reported? Because you can't claim to stand for free speech while shaping the story people are allowed to hear. And when coverage starts to feel filtered, it becomes harder to separate reality from messaging. It raises a bigger question. Is the public seeing reality or a carefully managed version of it? But here's where it gets deeper. This didn't start with Trump. The push toward conflict with Iran has existed for decades, across political parties, across administrations. From neoconservative strategy circles to ideological movements that see conflict as necessary, even inevitable. And politically? War isn't always a liability. For some groups, it energizes voters. For others, it reinforces long-held beliefs about power and global dominance. And for some voter bases, it's motivating. For others, it's invisible until it's too late. So when you hear the phrase endless wars, you have to ask, was that ever a real policy or just a powerful slogan? Because what war ever truly has a clear ending? Because in the end, the biggest question isn't just why this is happening now. It's whether it was always going to happen, no matter who was in charge. Subscribe for more breakdowns that go beyond the headlines.